But Bob, Crenshaw doesn't make a habit of losing in state championship games. They've been here 4 times in 12 years and have never lost in the title game.
They've got a great tradition, and obviously they deserve it. It's a wonderful basketball school. Great athletes come out of there. Excellent coaching. So, Jesuit is #1, and I think they deserve it, John. They've had just a fantastic year. 1 loss all year to St. Anthony's of New Jersey, and St. Anthony shot 75% from the floor in that game. So they've gone down a tough road, and they've survived all the way.
That was in an early season tournament in San Diego, and St. Anthony's is the #1 team in the country. Hurley is the name of the coach there. He's got a couple of sons who play a little basketball, including Bobby. Now, what we're going to see here are 2 teams that play a lot alike, will we not?
Certainly. They're athletic, and athletic teams like to play in the open court. So we think they're going to go get each other. They want to extend a little bit. They want to use their athleticism and trying to pressure the basketball, and I don't think we're going to have to worry about not having a clock in high school level here.
Well, there's one young man that I'm sure we'll talk an awful lot about. His dad, Marcus Johnson, was a college and NBA star. Kristen Johnson helps form a formidable crew on the front line for Crenshaw.
He certainly does. They're a powerful inside team, and you know, I'm trying to put down their strengths and weaknesses as we prepared here, and there's not many. What I've opted to do, John, is say that they're kind of young. They have 4 juniors they play a lot, but their inside game is very powerful. They can play fast or they can play slow. They're just very difficult. And Johnson, of course, is a key inside. He's very clever. He's creative. He knows where the basket is, and he's probably got good genes.
On the other hand, Jesuit, at whom you're looking now in the white uniforms, has 2 seniors who are headed off to play Division I basketball, Isaac Fontaine and Josh King.
Well, I went to their practice the other day, and they certainly are wonderful athletes. They're going to make very good Division I basketball players. Isaac Fontaine's got a little more notoriety, and he probably deserves it. He can do it all. He can play a lot of positions. He's very, very quick. He can shoot the outside shot, and of course, King has a lot of those same characteristics. So it's going to be a lot required of them today, but they've been asked to do that all year, and they've responded all the time.
All right, it's Jesuit at 35-1 and Crenshaw at 27-2. Coming up in the boys' championship, the girls' championship lasted a little longer than we expected. Linwood winning the championship 65-51 with a huge 4th quarter and some action from the Knights of Linwood in dark as they hustle it down. This young lady was the star of the game, Tamika Kirby, with 27 points and 11 rebounds. She, along with Elena Adams, scoring big in the second half. And one more good look at Tamika Kirby of the state champion Linwood Knights. It has been mostly a Southern California look here in the state championships. All but 2 of the championships have gone to Southern California in all of the action here Friday and Saturday. We'll continue from the Oakland Coliseum Arena. #1 Jesuit and #2 Crenshaw coming up in the state high school basketball boys championship at the arena. 1983 beating O'Dowd in overtime. In 1985 they beat Logan of Union City in overtime. In 1986 they beat O'Dowd by 1, and in 1989 they beat Skyline High 70-63. Back in the 20s, Stockton High School won 4 state titles. Crenshaw would like to break that run and have a 5th. That would be the best ever in the state of California. Of course, we go back to 1981 when the state championship was renewed, the North versus the South. On the other hand, Jesuit at 35-1 comes in here, the #1 rated team in the state, Crenshaw the #2, but I gotta believe that a lot of people think that Crenshaw is the team to beat here today, as Jesuit comes in here as the best Sacramento area team in a good, what, 17, 18 years, Bob?
Ever since Bill Cartwright, I guess, played for Elk Grove Thundering Herd. They came in here and they were a wonderful basketball team out of the Sacramento area, no question about it. I think this Jesuit team is certainly much more balanced. They went to Bill all the time, and rightfully so, but there's a lot of weapons on this Marauder team.
Yeah, this is a team that did very well in Division II in the state. Then they went up a class in Division I, lost the Northern California Championship last year, won the championship. In fact, in 2 different divisions, this Jesuit team has been to the Northern California Championship 4 years in a row.
Yes, they really have. It's a great program, and of course now the seniors are there, Isaac Fontaine and Josh King, and they're going to be just wonderful to watch because they're prepared for it. I saw the practice, as I mentioned, And I was really impressed with how loose and relaxed they were. I mean, this is the game of their lives as high school kids, but they're very confident. They're poised. It's a senior-dominated team, and I think they're ready. There's a mystique about Crenshaw, no doubt about it, but Jesuit in their own right feels they belong here.
So tell me, Bob, who was the first basketball coach at Jesuit back in 1965?
The first basketball coach at Jesuit High School was me.
There we go.
I was just a young guy then, and I can really turn the clock back. I was up there, and geez, it was just strange walking around, John. It was a very good basketball environment then, although we only had 90 kids in school. And I can remember that the last year I was there 4 years, 64 to 68. We won 21 straight games, and we lost one game that year on a buzzer shot by a pretty famous person, Dusty Baker.
Well, if one thing these two teams have in common, and it certainly is the one thing besides their style of play, is that they have both beaten Mater Dei. It was Jesuit beating Mater Dei earlier in the year, and then Crenshaw beating Mater Dei in the championships of the Southern California section. Crenshaw goes with a huge front line, huge, I guess, by high school standards, at least 6'5" to 6'6", but the numbers are the most impressive. Johnson, Folks, McFerrin for this Crenshaw team, averaging over 57 points a game and 36 rebounds a game.
And they're very physical, too. And I just spoke with Coach Meyer of Jesuit about that, and his concerns are very real, although he does liken them to Kennedy of Sacramento. And Kennedy was a real big physical basketball team, even went 6'11". They had tremendous success in beating them 3 times, even though it was 8, 10, and 12 in fairly close games. But it was a type of situation where they think that this is the same environment, so they're prepared for it.
So as you may be wondering why we haven't tipped it off here, we were supposed to tip it off shortly after 3 o'clock. Crenshaw and Jesuit. Again, the girls' game went a little bit longer. Linwood spoiling the miracle run of Balboa, and it's a 65-51 final. So we'll have the pleasure of participating in not only the starting lineups here, but also the national anthem. So we'll have our tip-off coming up in just a bit.
We now ask you to stand and help salute your country. We are privileged to have singing the starting lineup from Oak Grove High School, Miss Katie Manning.
National anthem from Katie Manning of Oak Grove High School in San Jose. And now the announcement of the starting lineups and the rest of the rosters. Here's Sandy Berman.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing both of these outstanding rosters. First, the roster for the visiting team, the Crenshaw Cougars. Number 5, Antonio Simpson. Number 10, Stacy Gentle. Number 12, Calvin Valerie. Number 14, Keith Davis. Number 21, Robert Carter. Number 22, Rico Laurie. 25, Marvel Lacey. 30, Ronnie Arch. 31, Tyson Gill. And 32, Jermaine Lynn. And now the roster for the home team, the Jesuit Marauders. Number 4, Mike Tennant. Number 10, Matt Dunn. Number 11, Chris Hayashi. Number 12, Gio Armazzi. Number 13, Mark Fierro. Number 15, Dan Boline. Number 20, Matt Armazzi. 23, Dominic Conti. 31, J.D. Howard. 32, Omar Collins. 40, Ryan Gould. 42, Ryan Stutt. 43, Doug White. The starting lineups. At a guard for Crenshaw, a junior wearing number 11, Reggie McFerrin. For Jesuit, at a guard, senior, number 22, Isaac Fontaine. At guard for Crenshaw, senior, number 23, Maurice Robinson. At guard for Jesuit, senior, number 24, Martin Kodabasian. For Crenshaw, at forward, junior, number 24, Tremaine Fox. At the third guard for Jesuit, junior, number 44, Chris Griffin. At a forward for Crenshaw, junior, 54, Kristen Johnson. Forward for Jesuit, senior, number 25, Josh King. At the center for Crenshaw, junior, number 42, Leon Watson. And for Jesuit, at their other forward, junior, number 33, Ben Ammerman. The Crenshaw coach is Willie West. The Jesuit coach, Hank Mayer. Your officials for this game?
We'll be back to tip it off from the Oakland Coliseum Arena in just a minute. That's where the battles will be, but the war may be won in the backcourt.
No doubt about that, and there's a tremendous chore. Robinson's a great point guard.
And controlled by Josh King and the Jesuit Marauders in the backcourt. This is Isaac Fontaine all the way down the lane, gets his own rebound. Ball tipped around, controlled by Maurice Robinson of Crenshaw. Very fast pace, as we expect. Here is Folks. Off the glass, no good. Rebound, Watson. No, sir. Tip up, Folks. No. And the other way is Chris Griffin. He's a 6'2 junior. He'll try and control the action. Josh King for two. Perfect. Josh King at 6'7". He's a senior. Turnover. Crenshaw gives it out. Jesuit with a 2-0 lead takes the ball.
Both teams decided to go up tempo, John. There's going to be no mystery here. They decided to just come out and play basketball. They're going to extend full court, try to keep the pressure on, see if they can't wear each other down.
This is Martin Kodabasian, number 24. He's 5'10", shortest man on the court. Ben Ammerman is number 33. Works it out on top to Griffin.
Jesuit doesn't have a true point guard, so they're a little difficult to match up with. Fontaine has the chores a lot. King will bring it up.
Watson. Crenshaw's Watson knocked it away from Isaac Fontaine, whose dad, Isaac Sr., was a high school star at Grant High School in Sacramento some 25 years ago.
Everyone's a little nervous. It's typical. Championship game. Also difficult to play in an arena like this. They used a lot smaller courts. Jesuit might have a little edge having played 2 games here.
Griffin trying to force the action. Kristen Johnson forces it out to King off the iron and tipped around, and here's Isaac Fontaine. No-look pass off the hands of Kristen Johnson. Number 54 for Crenshaw, Kristen Johnson, as we mentioned earlier, the son of Marcus Johnson.
It's a good job. Good hands by Kodabashian. Good feed inside.
More loose balls now, and a foul is called on the man on the floor. That's Chris Griffin, Jesuit 6'2" junior. We've played over a minute and a half of the championship game, and Jesuit with the only 2 points on the board.
Griffin needs to play a major role. He's a great athlete. He's required to go against great size today, though, so he's really got to step it up. Full court press by Jesuit.
And the pass all the way down to Maurice Robinson. Reggie McFerrin is number 11, back out to Robinson. Tremaine Folks. This is a junior-dominated Crenshaw team. Johnson at the free throw line, got the roll, and we're tied at 2.
Jesuits playing their normal style. They love to play man-to-man defense. They take a lot of pride in it. Their main problem is they're going to have to make sure they get a body on Crenshaw and keep them off the offensive boards.
Fontaine to Ammerman off the glass. Ammerman forces the issue, and a foul is called on Johnson.
Good example of not a typical point guard. Fontaine brought the ball up. He's so versatile. He can play the off guard, a small forward. He can bring the ball up as a point. Here's the penetration. Good dish. Ammerman, a transfer from Chicago, takes it in strong.
So Ben goes to the free throw line. He averages 6 points and 5 rebounds.
He's been a great addition to them. Like I say, he transferred in. He gives them a little size up front, a little stability up front.
Willie West of Crenshaw after his 5th state championship. He has 4 in the pocket. Ammerman misses the first one.
We'll be looking for a Jesuit press after this. It looks like they're both committed to seeing if they can't get a war of attrition going.
And Ammerman breaks the tie. It's 3-2 as Jesuit High School takes the lead early. Get it ahead to Johnson against Ammerman. Nice move on the baseline. Ammerman tips it away, but a foul is called.
Johnson knows where the basket is. He's not a great jumper at this stage of his career, but he really knows how to score. Here's the penetration. A little head fake the other way, takes him inside. Ammerman went for it. Help was a little bit late. Very, very dangerous team. They also have 5 people can go to the glass. That's 1 foul on Ammerman, 2 on the team. And Kristen Johnson, who averages over 21 points and 14 rebounds a game, makes it a 3-3 get-together, just 2 minutes and 12 seconds into it. Full court press the other way. And King gets it to Griffin. Ahead to Martin Kodabashian. They work it inside, passes it, thrown away by Griffin. Wanted to get it to Fontaine, but the pass was awry. Crenshaw's size took its toll inside there. No mystery in the press. They're playing it straight up. They just want to see if they can't wear somebody down. Neither team wants to commit to double teams with all that athleticism on the floor. Fontaine tried to knock it away. And Fontaine does get it away from Folks. It's great hands. A lot of quick hands out there. Nobody's safe when they get inside. Big time move by Griffin. Drives in, can't finish, out of bounds. Crenshaw gets it. Couple key things. They're going to need to get some activity out of Griffin. And they're going to need to get that 3-point shot from King to go down. He missed that one earlier, but he had a real good look. Kodabashian is trying to play Robinson. That's a tough matchup for Jesuit. Tipped away, though. And here comes Kodabashian. As the Marauders send it the other way, it goes off the hands of Fontaine, and Crenshaw will have the ball with 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. And Crenshaw out of L.A. leading Carmichael's Jesuit 4-3. Pacific Bell Yellow Pages. If it's not in here, maybe it doesn't exist. Well, so far in the first 3 minutes of the game, no foul trouble at all. 2 Jesuit players with 1 and 1 Crenshaw player with 1. Robinson to Folks, worked it around to Watson. Got it in low to Folks. It's Maurice Robinson who takes the shot, and Ben Ammerman pulls it out of the air. Now Griffin trying to speed things up for Jesuit, and it's knocked away
by Watson, and Johnson was there as well.
It's the size situation. Griffin's an excellent athlete, but he's taking it on some big people. Here he's attacking from the right side. Tries to draw the foul, get to the line, but pretty good defensive position.
Back outside, working around Josh King. Isaac Fontaine for three. King the putback, and the battle for the rebound won by Leon Watson. 3-on-2 for Crenshaw. If they can pull it off. Back to Kristen Johnson. And good position for Ammerman. Over the back is Watson.
That's what they got to do. They got to stay inside strong on the defensive end. They can't let Crenshaw start tipping that ball and keeping it alive. You know, the offense looks slow, but what happens is the athleticism is negated by the quick hands on defense. You do get it both ways when you get two championship teams.
And the long pass to Isaac Fontaine is worth 2 points.
Isaac's a little better at finishing. Took that one in strong. Used that rim to shield himself from the defender.
Knocked away off the leg of Robinson. Fontaine knocked it out of the hands of Robinson. Out of bounds. Jesuit with a 5-4 lead will take it the length of the court. And again, it's Josh King who looks around and gives it off to Griffin.
They've had 4 different men bring it up already. So like I say, it's not a true point guard situation. Boston's the point guard in number, but he's more of a 3-point shooter.
Isaac Fontaine is headed to Washington State next year. His pal Josh King's going to Cal State Fullerton.
Those are 2 real good catches for those schools. They're going to enjoy them.
Bashian thought about it, gives it off to Griffin. Inside to Ammerman. What a feed, Ben Ammerman.
Great pass.
7-4.
Great pass, great pass. They've got to take it to Crenshaw a little bit inside. They can't be intimidated by the size.
Knocked away and a foul called on Ammerman. That's the second on Ben.
Good aggressive foul, though.
Let's take a look at that play at the other end. What a dish inside.
That's a good little bounce pass inside. A great angle created. Crenshaw likes to deny the pass. They play excellent defense. Tried to come around in front. He caught him and sealed him on the baseline side. It was a great feed.
So Ammerman, who had 3 points on the board early, now has 2 fouls. 3 team fouls on Jesuit. Team that is 35-1. Foul called. Griffin trying to take the pass away. And that's 2 fouls on Griffin.
Same type of situation. That could be a real concern. And talking to Coach Meyer about that, we talked about depth. And he really feels he's going to play the starters a long, long time. But of course, that can be dictated by fouls.
Kristen Johnson. And they work it around. Robert Parker is number 21. He's in the ball game for Crenshaw. Johnson creates the shot. It wouldn't fall. And Fontaine trying to push it up. Johnson fouls. That was a silly foul. Stepped right in front. Didn't have position. And that's 2 on Johnson.
Just over-enthusiastic. I think the scouting report obviously says they can't let Fontaine get off, so he's looking to help. He thought he could give him a little good quick double team.
3:03 to play, first quarter. Jesuit leads Crenshaw 7-4 in the Boys State Division I Championship. King and Fontaine each with a bucket, and Ammerman has a free throw. Knocked away and out of bounds.
In fact, they stepped it up a little bit. They're going to deny even the inbounds pass now.
That's Robert Parker again, number 21. He's a sophomore into the ball game for Crenshaw. Also in Rico Laurie. He's number 22.
They've gone a little bit smaller now. They went with the size and tried to bounce them off the boards. Now they're looking to see if they can't get a little more open court coverage.
Field goal shooting in the game so far, anything but impressive. But they're feeling each other out, a little bit tight. It is the state championship game.
Teams get the championships by defense also. I tell you what, they really do have a good feel for what they're trying to accomplish defensively.
Griffin, the feed to Fontaine. Another great pass from Chris Griffin. Fontaine steals, keeps it alive for Jesuit, and a foul is called. And it's called on Rico Laurie of Crenshaw.
You had a lot of action in a short amount of time there. It was a real good feed inside. Strong move. To get that ball back in that situation just shows what type of an athlete Isaac Fontaine is.
Isaac averages 21 points and 5 rebounds and plays out there in the backcourt and also on the front line. 6 turnovers by Crenshaw already. And we've played just 5.5 minutes of this championship game. Bashian, what tight man-to-man defense here as Ammerman looks for somebody. Griffin breaks free.
They've really extended. They've got the court spread offensively and defensively.
King leaves it short. Fight for the rebound, and it's off the hands of Jesuits. Ammerman and Crenshaw will take it.
That's a key part of what Jesuit has to do. Didn't get a real good look at that one. King needs to score up with a little bit more time.
Maurice Robinson. Now they've got Griffin on Robinson and Kodabashian on Laurie. This is Folks, 24, over to Johnson. Feed it to Folks, wide open. Robert Parker misses everything but Kodabashian's hands, and a foul is called on Laurie.
The game plan is ideal right now for Jesuit. What they're doing is trying to deny them the inside game because they're just so strong. Johnson and Folks inside, averaging over 21 apiece, are just strong factors. So Crenshaw's going to have to knock down some outside shots and open up the middle.
There's the baseball pass again. King to Griffin, saves it, couldn't. Saved it off the standard, and Crenshaw will take over. Josh King was not the quarterback on Jesuit's football team this year. In fact, their quarterback is one of the backup players, Mike Tennett. Fontaine on Tremaine Folks. A good matchup right here.
They just can't get it inside. Jesuit's doing an excellent job pressuring the basketball.
Johnson trying to create something for himself. Gets it to Robinson. Nice move off the glass. 7-6. Well, they leave King alone, so he'll just bring the ball down into the front court.
Again, it's 5 point guards out there. It's the way they play.
Griffin, he is fouled as he drives in before the shot. Now Crenshaw getting into some foul trouble here late in the first quarter. The call goes against 21. That's Parker.
Crenshaw's committed to extend defensively, and when you do that, the help comes late. He's 21 over it, and a little bit too late reaching for it. And they've committed themselves to see if they can't force some turnovers. You are going to be vulnerable.
Works it quickly inside to Fontaine. Offensive call.
He hooked him with
elbow.
the left arm. Hooked him with the left arm. It's just an instinctive play. You don't get the call that much, but he got it too far away from his body.
That's 5 team fouls now on Jesuit. First foul on Fontaine. Into the ball game for Crenshaw. Number 10 is Stacy Gentle. And
Crenshaw brings all 4 guys up in the press break, which is a dangerous situation if you commit all the way, because they can throw deep. But you see Fontaine playing what we call center field. He's not guarding the man taking the ball out of bounds, so any long pass he's going to pick off. There's a breakaway, but they're going to have to go inbound short.
And Gentle, a 5'11" senior now with the ball for the Cougars. Watson, who's back in the ball game now. Folks around to Gentle. Mike Tennett, the aforementioned football quarterback in the ball game. He's number 4 for Jesuit.
They're really getting some pretty good looks inside now, Johnson. The problem is they're not going to.
Big time move by Tremaine Folks. Drives in and scores. Crenshaw takes the lead, and they get the steal. Here's Folks again, knocked away by Fontaine. They call it. Late call.
That's 2 quick ones on it. 2 quick ones. Got the offensive foul at the other end. Reach-in foul here. Good steal. Griffin just wasn't alert. Instead of holding position, not reaching instinctively, Fontaine went for the steal. Big trouble for Jesuit if he gets in foul trouble.
So that's a couple of players now with 2 fouls each in the ball game.
And as a coach, you just don't want your players, your starters, to get that 3rd foul in the first half. So this is really dangerous.
Also in the ball game for Jesuit, number 40 is Ryan Gould. King watches Parker drive right by him and score, and Crenshaw has a little bit of a run, and they lead 10-7. As we near the 10-second mark now, inside 10 seconds to play in the quarter. Griffin stops, shoots off the front of the iron. Fontaine, the rebound with the putback, and it's 10-9. And that's the way we'll end the first 8 minutes of play. The Southern California section champs, Crenshaw, leading Jesuit of Carmichael 10-9. We'll continue from the Oakland Coliseum Arena. All the bank you can get. Bad shooting, poor shooting, good defense. The name of the game at the end of the first quarter. Jesuit hitting just 25% of their shots. 3 for 15 among Fontaine, King, and Griffin from the field in that first 8 minutes of action.
And the good news is they're only one down, so that's a real good sign. The bad news is they got a lot of guys with a couple of fouls.
Crenshaw making some changes. Number 30, Ronnie Arch, is in the ball game, along with Reggie McFerrin, who's back, and Jesuit gets the ball away. It's the little guys, Tennant and Stutt, in the ball game. I'm sorry, Gould. Brian Gould is number 40. They're playing with King and Fontaine and Griffin for the white-clad Jesuit Marauders. King out on top, trying to do something all by himself. A tip up by Gould is no good. Loose ball fought for.
Where you're supposed to be.
The possession arrow is in the favor of Jesuit, so they will keep the ball 48 seconds into the second quarter.
Good effort by Gould. Ball's on the floor, you got to get on the floor.
Kristen Johnson didn't get much of a break. He got the 2 minutes between quarters in the first 48 seconds here. He's back.
Good penetration. What they're looking to do is to spread the defense because they're so aggressive defensively, and it allows for an offensive effort and a good hustle play by Gould.
Robinson the steal, the throw away, and McFerrin comes up with the loose ball, stop, shoot, scores. Reggie McFerrin scores. Crenshaw takes a 3-point lead. Boy, every pass, every play, everything is contested. Work it around, King, baseline, rolls around, put back, Gould, no good.
A little fade away there by King. Much better squared up, looking to shoot the three, but they're forcing the action.
McFerrin for 3, in and out. Johnson, the offensive board. This is part of their game right here. Crenshaw's Kristen Johnson goes up, and he'll get a couple of free throws.
Well, McFerrin, I see hanging his head a little bit, and he's a key player because that inside game's got to be dictated by the outside shot. He misses this one here. And an important number is that he went 0 for 7 from three-point range in the championship game down south. And part of that can be, if you've never done it before, when you get to a big, strange arena, the background is different. It's much more difficult to shoot. Anytime you get in the confines of a smaller high school gym, you really get the depth perception a lot better.
Especially with all these crazy Jesuit sixth men kids down here.
That's their sixth man. They give an award to them. They are really always there.
So now it's 14-9 Crenshaw as Kristen Johnson nails both the free throws. Speeding it up, Fontaine is fouled by Folks as he drives toward the basket. 1-1 now as both teams are in the bonus.
It's been a slow start, but Fontaine really has to have a major league game. You can see that there's a lot of strength and a lot of bench and a lot of depth on Crenshaw's part. So we're going to have to see Fontaine and King have prime games, but they've done it before.
Well, they scored 39 points between the two of them. He'll get another free throw try here as Ammerman returns and Ryan Gould, the 6'8 senior, comes back onto the bench.
The hard thing for Crenshaw with Fontaine, John, is he's so versatile. He can go inside off the dribble. He can post you up if you get a smaller guard on him, but he can go outside and shoot the three if he gets bigger. So he is that dangerous, but he's really got to get it together today.
Well, he makes only 1 out of 2 at the free throw line. Very closely contesting the play there. Man with 2 fouls. Tennant commits the foul, and that'll send Robinson to the free throw line with 6:20 to play in the half, and Crenshaw leading by 4.
What they're doing, the game plan is to force Robinson left. They really feel he's not nearly as good going to his left hand. But the problem was Tennant, being enthusiastic and aggressive, he just thought he could get a piece of the ball, which he did, but he also got a piece of the arm. What you want to do is just keep him going to his left, because really the game plan is they don't feel he can hurt you. He can't penetrate off the left, and he's not going to dish off the left. So it was just a little over-enthusiastic. And
Robinson delivers with the free throw. And because the defense and because the turnovers caused by it, this game really doesn't have any pace yet, does it?
Very hard, because just when somebody's going to break away from a dunk, there's a great defensive play. There's a lot of defensive backs out here that football teams would love.
Crenshaw leads 16-10. Griffin breaks the press all by himself. Fontaine scores.
There's no way they're going to stop him there. They get through the press and they get it to Fontaine in the middle of the court. He's just too dangerous.
Isaac Fontaine's got 6 for Jesuit. Johnson probably traveled, but nothing called. Then he forces a shot up, and King's got it for Jesuit. Nice left-handed pass. Griffin scores. When you've got 5 guys on the court who can handle the ball, you get plays like that.
Well, and what you get is you get what we call a dribble break, and that means that the defender can just come out of there. Right now, Griffin got a steal, and he takes it up. Fontaine brings it up. Again, the 5-point guards.
Fontaine puts it up for the tie, the tip, and Johnson comes up with the rebound. There's a man cheating up here, McFerrin, and he makes Jesuit pay for it. It's 18-14, so just like that, we get a little pace here now as they go back and forth.
Exactly.
Fontaine, and a foul, and a foul.
Oh, that's an excellent.
Oh, and a technical.
Uh-oh. Good timing for Jesuit. They're loosening up now. He switches the left hand. What he does so well is he finishes. And that's the mark of a big league player. He uses the rim to protect himself a little bit.
I thought for sure they called a technical, but apparently not. Robinson deserved it. He bounced that ball 30 feet in the air. We'll continue. 5:18 to play in the half. CRENSHAW side with 2. We've played nearly 3 minutes of the second quarter, and Isaac Fontaine with 9 points in the game to lead Jesuit has a chance to get into double figures and cut that Crenshaw lead to 1.
Excellent open for a player, and he showed it there finishing. Tempo has really picked up now. The press has sort of been nullified. The offense has loosened up a little bit.
And the rebound to Ammerman. And now Jesuit again with the chance to tie or take the lead. Fontaine against Robinson. Over Johnson. Got the bounce.
Got the roll. Shooter's roll. Shot it right in his face.
So we're tied at 18 with exactly 5 minutes to play in the half. McFerrin breaks it in a hurry.
Like I said,
Reggie McFerrin.
He's the one that's got to get the three-pointer down. 0 for 7 in the championship game down south, and if he gets a couple of those going, the inside's going to open up.
He's got 7 for the Cougars. Nice entry off the glass. Good work by King to get the rebound. Now Fontaine gets the rebound, and a foul is called. Fontaine, King, Ammerman all crashing the offensive boards.
They're posting up Fontaine now, and it makes it really difficult. He's being guarded by a smaller player. Robinson's trying to front him, but he knows what he's doing down there so well. He seals him with his body, and then once he gets inside, he's also an excellent rebounder. So he's putting a lot of pressure on the defensive team. He can also take it out to midcourt. He can take it out the top of the key and penetrate. So he gets it inside so many different ways that Crenshaw is going to have a lot of difficulty unless they can deny him the ball.
That foul was called on Parker, his second personal. Willie West. Crenshaw. They come in here as the number 2 rated team in the state, but they knocked off Mater Dei, the perennial power from Santa Ana in Southern California, 63-61.
They also had a great win over Huntington Beach in a game where they could have easily lost it too. So they've showed some poise down the stretch. They say in trying to come up with their weaknesses, you know, what it looks like is they've got some kids that maybe are a year away in that, you know, it wasn't supposed to be their year, but the tradition of the program and the skill of the players and the coaching staff, of course, has got them here.
Well, their big studs are all juniors. And the rebound for Ammerman, and it's knocked away by Robinson.
They get
quick
away.
hands, Maurice Robinson.
They don't screen him out, and then they got the quick hands to bring it back, so it just negated it.
Robinson again with Kodabashian on him, nearly thrown away, but Robinson comes up with it.
There's a commitment to defense out here. They're denying passes. Look out, look out.
Fontaine, is that number 3 on Fontaine? Very well could be, as Folks takes it right to him. As Tremaine Folks takes it right to Isaac Fontaine, and with 4:14 to play in the half, Fontaine commits foul number 3.
The game plan is simple. They're going to go right at Fontaine with 2. Like I said, a coach's nightmare is for a player, key players, to get that third foul in the first half, because you know down the stretch you're going to be walking on eggs. He's leaving Fontaine in. He's a smart player, except you never know what's going to happen. As aggressively as he goes with the boards, you never know what can happen.
Well, if he continues to play Folks, then you know that Tremaine will do his best to get that ball in his hands and take it to him. The free throw makes it a 3-point lead again for Crenshaw.
Coach Meyer made an interesting comment before the game. He said that as a player, he hated to come out, so he sort of coaches that way. He thinks his players have to be ready to play all the time, and he wants to keep them out there.
Josh King with the rebound for the Marauders. It's 22-19 at the halfway mark of the second quarter. John Schrader and Bob Gaylord at the Oakland Coliseum Arena, and the foul is called on McFerrin. Reggie commits the foul.
What's happening, John, is that the defense is so good on denying passes to the wings that it breaks down to a lot of one-on-one play in the penetration. He can't make the pass. They're just sealing everything off, so he's got to go off the dribble, and it's been effective because you can't defend some of these offensive players when you do that. It takes away the offense. Both teams have taken each other totally out of their offense. It's breaking down to one-on-one play, but they've managed to be fairly effective with it.
Tenet is back in, and Kodabashian leaves for Jesuit. 1 plus the 1 for Griffin. He'll get another. Makes it a 2-point game. Griffin averaging 12 points a game, and really the glue that holds the club together in the backcourt, and could be, as it turns out, one of the big differences in this ball game. He and Robinson, I think, in the backcourt, one of the key matchups.
I'll tell you, the blood pressure has to be up on the coaching staff with Fontaine out there with 3 fouls and 4 minutes to go in the second quarter.
McFerrin loves that 3, and this one was in, baby. That was in and came back out. It goes out of bounds off Crenshaw. Christian Johnson had it in his hands and lost it. And now Jesuit down by 1 with 3:54 to play in the half. Will take it, and of course they get the full court pressure. Here's Griffin, looks ahead, stops, puts it in, and Jesuit has a lead by 1.
Good transition move, one-on-one play. Excellent. Foul line jumper is a real good shot in the break.
Griffin's got 6.
Forcing Robinson left again. They're really trying to pin him to sidelines.
Now Ammerman with 2 fouls, and Johnson takes an extra step, drives to the basket off the glass, and Crenshaw retakes the lead.
That's the one-on-one from the perimeter. What happens is there's just no pass to be made, so they're just having to go. It's what the defense is giving you.
Feed to Griffin. He finds Johnson.
That's what he wants.
For 3.
Oh.
And Ben Ammerman over the back of Antonio Simpson, and that's 3 on Ammerman.
You know, the key thing, as I've mentioned before, I mean, you can just see King's just a touch worried about it. He would have loved to have seen that one go down, but he's got to get that 3 down to open up the middle, just the same way McFerrin has to do at the other end. They're mirror-like players, and what they need to provide for their team offensively.
So now Hank Meyer directing traffic, but he's got 22. Fontaine with 3 fouls. 33 Ammerman out there with 3 fouls, 3 points, and 3 rebounds.
Coach Meyer said he really hasn't zoned all year long, but he might consider it with a foul situation, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Jesuit maybe go into a zone a little bit. Not that it's the best defense against Crenshaw, but he has to save Fontaine.
So Antonio Simpson, a sophomore, just into the ball game, betters his season average with 2 free throws, and Crenshaw leads by 3. And here's Fontaine to Griffin. They've got a 3-on-2. Kodabashian gives it up, back out to Fontaine. Kodabashian with Simpson in his face. Fontaine outside 3. Can't get it. Here's Robinson ahead to McFerrin, and it's saved by Fontaine, and then off Crenshaw. It looked like it might have been Isaac who knocked it out, but McFerrin touched it before it went out.
We have a timeout with 2 minutes, 52 seconds remaining.
2:52 to play, 23, Crenshaw with the lead. With 8 and 7 apiece, while Fontaine has a dozen and Griffin half a dozen for Jesuit. It's 26-23, and Crenshaw just calling another timeout as they come out of the timeout, called another one, and we'll keep it right here with 2:52 to play in the half. Crenshaw got here by beating Simi Valley handily. There's that Huntington Beach victory about which you talked a minute ago, Bob, and then they beat Mater Dei in the championship at Southern California.
Well, in that Huntington Beach game, Huntington Beach had the ball down 1, came through the press with less than a minute to play, and actually had 2 open players for lay-in. They fought each other for the ball, went out of bounds. It could have turned around so easily, so they were very fortunate there.
Jesuits victims, Bishop O'Dowd Mission and De La Salle, who tried to slow it down. And it was a 45-37 verdict last Saturday night here in Oakland.
Right, 91 game and 45 the next. And of course, the missing team there is McClymonds High School. People expected them to advance a little bit farther, but they got upset. And of course, without that clock in high school basketball, you just never know what's going to happen. It could be 25-20.
All right, let's pause 5 seconds for station identification on the CIF Reebok Television Network.
Into the Crenshaw lineup, 22, White,
John Schrader with Bob Gaylord at the Oakland Coliseum Arena, where Crenshaw has a 26-23 lead, just under 3 minutes to play in the first half. Jesuit in the white uniforms, trying to become the first Sacramento area team in the modern era of the state championships to win a state title. And Griffin's shot comes up short, and Folks has the rebound. And it's stolen by Griffin, and he scores.
Good athletic play by Griffin.
Chris Griffin has 8. He's in the backcourt with Mike Tennett, who nearly steals it away. Also Fontaine, Ammerman, and King.
There's the zone. That's what I talked about. They're trying to protect Fontaine.
Well, if they can survive the zone over the last 3 minutes here.
That's the key thing is stay within 5 or 6 points and just get out of here with Fontaine. That's all.
Rico Laurie missed the shot, and King the rebound.
Besides, they got him missing the zone, so maybe it's a good defense for him. You know, Crenshaw can't be prepared for it. They haven't zoned all year.
Jesuit with the chance to take the lead, and the foul called on Laurie as he stepped right in front of Griffin, who dribbled around the screen. And 1+1, Griffin goes to the line.
Griffin takes a little bit of a back seat, of course, to Fontaine and King, but he does so many things that Coach Meyer had nothing but good things to say about him and extolling his virtues. He just provides a lot, and of course he's the one right now that's being used to break the press and come on down and try to finish the play at the other end.
Griffin misses, but King bails him out, and he tries to put it back up, and it's knocked away by Folks.
Big-time athletes in there.
Kristen Johnson outside 3 and buries it.
They weren't used to coming back in that zone, and they were a little disorganized. Look out, look out.
Fontaine drives, can't get it, but King is there for the rebound. And a foul called on Folks over his back. Josh King getting outstanding position on the boards.
And no question, it's a good penetration by Fontaine. Takes it to the basket very strong. He avoids a possible charge. Gets up really a pretty good off-balance shot, though, even for him. Good inside position.
Good job by King because he didn't commit too early.
Absolutely, although I'll tell you, my coaching instincts just make me sweat when I see Fontaine go in the basket. Johnson tried to make a play, but if he would have jumped in front and tried to draw the charge, now you're putting the decision there on the officials. You just don't want to do. I mean, there was something that's so dangerous. You can be very, very smart, but pick up that foul so easily at the offensive end.
And King can't get it.
No, he's struggling.
So that's the 1-on-ones. You got to finish him.
It's either half of them there. Fontaine just said, right, we're in the zone. Okay, now he's organized.
29-25, Crenshaw with the lead. 90 seconds to play in the first half.
We're in a 1-2-2. They're trying to extend it a little bit. They do respect the shooting.
There's Parker. And the ball ends up in the hands of Gould, and a foul is called on Robert Parker.
That's a good rebound by Gould, and a good job. People don't realize a lot is you're very vulnerable when you're in the zone on the offensive boards. You don't have a lot of screening out assignments, therefore no accountability, but he managed to go up and get that one in traffic real well.
So now that's 3 fouls on Parker. So Gould will go to the other end for 1+1. He's a 6'8" senior. How about this? He doesn't even play in the Northern California Championships and gets a couple of big stints here already in the first half.
They were saving
of the state championship.
They were saving it for this one.
And why not? They knew he was going to hit a free throw with 1:20 to go and get another one here to make it a 2-point game.
Absolutely. I think Jesuit would be just very, very pleased to come back in that zone one more time, get it off the defensive boards. Be a good idea, maybe spread the court, just kill the rest of the first half so they get out of here intact.
And they'll take that one out of bounds because he missed everything.
Well, if they get a lead late, I don't think they'll have him out there. I like his attitude. Didn't bother him. He's back there bouncing. He's ready to play. He didn't care.
He's ready to pack it back in there in the zone.
Yep. But they can't go at Fontaine in the zone. They can't isolate him like they could man-to-man. He's just playing it pretty soft.
Robinson for 3. Tennett the rebound. Gets it over to Griffin. To Fontaine. Open court. Travels. His foot was still down there, but they called it. He sort of dragged it. He says, well, wait a minute. It was there. But
I think he did. I think he wanted to go. I think he wanted to attack the basket, but his instincts are taken off a little bit. They don't call traveling much anymore. He wanted to go, but the defenders in front of him came to a stop.
Ooh, he's got a...
Bad call.
He got a beat there.
Bad call.
Not shuffle that foot at all. Johnson goes right around Gould, and a foul is called on Gould. Johnson really trying to force the issue on the baseline, even when it's not necessarily there, but Gould bailed him out.
Their man-to-man instincts take over, going against the zone. They want to attack the basket. none of the kids like to play against the zone or use the zone too much. They watch a lot of television. They know what the NBA rules are like.
Zone.
They all see themselves as mini NBA players.
There you go. The lost art. And Johnson buries it. It's 30-26. He's got a dozen. Played at Montclair Prep up until this year. He transferred over to Crenshaw, which was his father's alma mater. His father, Marcus Johnson, played at Crenshaw High School.
Yeah, that's a pretty good alum.
King was going one way. The ball was coming from another, out of bounds, and Crenshaw with 38 seconds left now and a 4-point lead. Will they hold it for the last shot?
I don't know if that's in their repertoire too much. They're spreading a little bit. They're spreading a little bit. Look out, Fontaine. Look out.
Did he say, hold it, coach? Fontaine working on Folks in the middle of that zone.
They're trying to hide him. They're trying to isolate him someplace. If I was coach, I'd say, fine, just spread the court, you guys. Don't shoot it.
Boy, they're certainly turning down a lot of open shots.
This is good. This is good. They don't want to give the ball back to Jesuit.
6 seconds now.
They did
Steal, Griffin, he's got a chance. He'll put it up in a hurry. It's knocked away. Buzzer sounds. And Crenshaw with the 30-26 lead after the first 16 minutes of action in the CIF Reebok Boys Division I State Championship. To the special presentation of School Properties USA. Crenshaw High School out of Los Angeles with a 30-26 lead over Carmichael's Jesuit High School. John Schrader, Bob Gaylord, and here we are courtside at the Oakland Coliseum Arena for a game that sort of started and stopped several times in the first quarter, got some pace going as the break worked for both teams a couple of times, and now again Jesuit, I guess, has some great concerns about getting into too much foul trouble.
There's no question about that. It did start slow, and I think part of that's nerves. Part of that also is the fact that playing in the Oakland Coliseum is vastly different, certainly for Crenshaw, and maybe not so much for Jesuit, but they were negated a lot by the fact that Crenshaw has excellent hands, and neither team would allow the other team to do anything that they wanted to do. They're really creating right now a lot of different things.
You find a lot of guys here who average 19, 20, 21 points a game, but the impressive thing about these teams is how well they play and how vigorously they play defensively.
Well, you don't get to this point without doing that, John, because every time you get into more and more important games, you get a little bit more conservative naturally, and all of a sudden the defensive end shows more. Teams aren't so quick to shoot the three, and they aren't that successful at it. So, you know, your defense is going to show up, and I'm sure every sport is.
And I guess in the back of your mind when you're ready to shoot that three, there's always that, well, this is the state championship. Maybe I better think one more time about it. We'll continue our halftime festivities. Crenshaw and Jesuit. Tom Burns, the commissioner of the CIF, joins us in just a bit.
The coach, even though they're up.
Take a look at the folks who we expect to come out here as they did to begin the ball game. Fontaine, Kodabashian, Griffin, King, and Ammerman for Jesuit. McFerrin, Robinson, Folks, Johnson, and Watson for the Cougars. 35-1. Jesuit lost only to the #1 team in the country, St. Anthony's out of New Jersey, very early in the year, while Crenshaw is on a long winning streak at 17 in a row. They're at 27-2. Here's Folks around to Watson.
Jesuit's back in their man-to-man, their regular style.
That's a jump ball situation, and possession arrow goes in the favor of Jesuit. Good hands by Ammerman and King in there as Johnson had a layup.
Such good hands, the referee really couldn't make the call. It obviously wasn't a jump ball, but it bailed him out.
Kodabashian wide open, his first shot of the game, and it's rebounded by Ammerman, but the loose ball ends up in the hands of McFerrin. Okay, apparently it went on the out-of-bounds line as Ammerman looked at him thinking, oh my God, did I get my 4th foul?
Yeah, touched by Ammerman.
Yeah, and so it went out of bounds, so Crenshaw will take it inbounds. Here's Folks at 6'6". He's a junior, gets knocked away. Robinson takes it right over the head of Kodabashian.
Jesuits come out very, very aggressive in the second half. I'm sure they didn't like the way they played the first half. They're going to try to pick it up at the defensive end.
Watson a long ways away from the basket to McFerrin with Josh King on him. King, bad shooting, but he did have 8 rebounds in the first half. And Folks puts it up. It's 32-26. More pressure. King in the backcourt at 6'7", almost dribbles it off his leg.
They've really had very good success, though, breaking his press. That's not been the problem.
In fact, as much as Crenshaw has pressed all day, and they've only turned it over 9 times. Testament to that.
A lot of that self-imposed, though. They're running their motion offense, trying to keep the court spread.
Fontaine dribbles around Robinson. Robinson tried to recover, committed the foul. What a big first step by Isaac Fontaine.
Well, you can't guard him one-on-one at the top of the key tight. You just can't do it. Probably going to have to test his outside shot a little bit more. Scouting report has that a little bit questionable. Here it is, just a straight one-on-one play. Gives a little head fake, and he's gone. That first step is what gets him to that Division I scholarship.
Kodabashian looking for somebody. Got it to King, knocked away, foul on Folks. And that's a tough call on Folks, who's trying to deny King the ball. Crenshaw commits a couple of early fouls, first 23 seconds of the third quarter. The officials started to play.
The referees were not a part of that. Kodabashian picked the ball up and said, hey, I'll just get this thing in bounds right now. We don't need the officials.
One official is over at the scorer's table barking out the numbers, and the other one is standing there, and Kodabashian throws the ball in. Out of bounds off Crenshaw.
The way these teams are playing, getting the ball in bounds when the other team D's up is a major accomplishment. That's got to go pretty soon.
King for 3. Ammerman with a big-time rebound on the offensive boards. Knocked away. Defended by Johnson and knocked away by Watson. 3-on-1.
That's
the
trouble.
Dish. And Kodabashian fouls Watson and denies him the easy 2.
Well, I think the strength of Crenshaw really showed. Ammerman makes a really good effort to get the ball off the offensive boards. And then it just turns into 2 free throws at the other end because he got the shot blocked. You get past one Crenshaw defender, there's other guys standing around. It hurts them somewhat in that they don't screen out on the defensive board, so it's allowed 11 first-half offensive rebounds by Jesuit, but at the same time, they're also going to help, and they're going to get some shots blocked.
Watson goes at least 6'7", and Kodabashian listed at 5'10", did a very nice job of knocking Watson away while knocking his arm away.
It's a good foul. He shot
so far, it's a good foul. He missed the free throw.
He shot a curveball, too. That ball was pretty far off. You know, it looks like some guys that could go to the line late in the game if this thing gets really tight.
Yeah. And that one rolls off, but Johnson is there for the rebound, and he travels.
Yep. We might have to give some people some helmets in that first row, some of the free throws being shot.
So it's still 32-26 with 6:20 to play third quarter. We've played just 40 seconds of the minute 40 of the second half. Jesuit trailed by 4 at the half. Still have yet to score here in this half. Griffin breaks the press. Who's the pass for? Pass was for 2 guys, and it fell in between them. And it's out of bounds. It's a turnover against Jesuit.
Crenshaw gave him a different look that time. They dropped at half court, and they got really overextended. Jesuit just didn't capitalize on it.
Parker gets it.
They were trying to force him left. Couldn't do it.
Robert Parker for 2, and Ammerman is there for the rebound. Ben Ammerman, a kid who grew up in Chicago, just moved to the Sacramento area. Now at the other end, the quick 2 for Isaac Fontaine.
Good finish. Good finish by Fontaine. Not going to block his shot because he releases it so quick, and he knows how to use the basket to help himself.
Now Kodabashian right in his face when Robinson gave up the dribble.
Front and inside.
5.5 to play third quarter. It's 32-28. Crenshaw leads.
Fontaine's given up 3 inches. I'm sure he likes to see his man outside.
Kodabashian went for the steal. Josh King went for the steal, knocked it out of bounds off Jesuit. And Crenshaw will keep it with 5:21 to play third quarter. The team from LA leads the team from the Sacramento area 32-28 in the Division I Boys Championship. Crenshaw, 3 players with 3, and 2 for Jesuit with 3. And we still have most of the third quarter to play. What an entry pass to Kristen Johnson, and it's a 6-point lead.
Good rear screen. Good rear screen. Difficult to defend.
Josh King double teamed. He gets it outside to Fontaine. Now to Kodabashian against Maurice Robinson. And Fontaine outside 3, left it short.
Pulled the string.
And it's out of bounds off Robinson. Hi.
Good stop, John.
I just met Maurice Robinson.
Good stop. Good stop.
Thank you. I didn't want him to knock over my coffee.
I'm much more experienced. I backed up. I wasn't going to have him in my lap.
Stolen by Parker. Loose ball Johnson. Here comes Robinson. Crenshaw wants to run.
Fontaine's back. It's trouble.
To Watson. And a loose ball after the rebound to Folks. And it's 36-28.
Great finish. Fontaine couldn't go out and play him as aggressive as he wanted to with the 3 fouls, and they just finished it.
Loose ball to Griffin. Griffin got some help, puts it up, and it's good. It's good. Basket counts. Griffin goes to the line for a free throw.
A tough finish. A tough finish. He was just falling down and threw it up.
Take a look at the play at the
here's
other
Fontaine
end.
back trying to stop a 2-on-1. He saves himself a little bit, but they're just too strong. They're just too strong. Good finish by Folks.
Watson lost the ball, and Folks is right there for the board. That's 3 fouls on Johnson. Now some changes.
Here's Griffin after the dunk. Gets tripped up. His left foot gets tripped up. He just throws it up. Schoolyard
foul
play.
was called on Johnson. That's 3 personals now on Kristen Johnson. Into the ball game is Jermaine Lin for Crenshaw. As Griffin can't finish, the loose ball chased down by Chris Griffin. Shot is up and down and around, and the rebound to Lin. Robinson, and a foul is called on Griffin. Looked like he had good pressure, reached in, knocked it away. The foul is called on Griffin.
You know, I don't want to forget Ammerman. I want to make a good comment, John, in that he is really working hard on the boards, and he's getting a hand on a few balls. He's keeping things alive. He's really doing a tremendous blue-collar job inside.
So add Griffin to the list of players with 3 fouls. It's a 6-point game with 4:11 to play, third quarter. Crenshaw with the ball and the lead. Only 2 teams from Northern California have won championships here in Oakland this weekend.
That's his shot.
And there's Ammerman with that position on the weak side after McFerrin missed the shot. And again, a chance to cut in to a 6-point disadvantage, and a foul called on Robinson this time. So it works both ways. Maurice Robinson commits the foul on the play against Chris Griffin, and on Crenshaw.
Just a very, very aggressive play. Even when you're in foul trouble, you know, the excellent competitors just can't turn off that aggressiveness. They just want to make a play so badly, they just can't stop.
14 fouls on Crenshaw, 3 on Robinson.
You've got Johnson guarding Fontaine, and I don't think he's going to be able to stay with him too well.
Here's Josh King, who's still struggling getting a shot. Worked it around. Mike Tennett is in the ball game now. There's Tennett right there, number 4. Dribbles in, finds Fontaine, delivers.
Great finish, great finish. Quick jumper and a quick release.
16 for Isaac Fontaine, and it's 36-32 as Tennett works on Robinson. He gets it over to Folks. Against Griffin, drives all the way, rolls around. Fontaine knocks it away, but McFerrin has it for the Cougars. And here's Johnson for 3. It was tipped. And Fontaine for the Marauders. He wants to go all the way. He's got Griffin. Delivers it to him. Knocked away by McFerrin. It's blocked. Now Mike Tennett says, let's bring it back out. Gets settled down. Fontaine puts it on the floor. He scores. It counts. He'll go to the line.
Great move by Isaac Fontaine. Off balance, leaning in the baseline. Jesuit needs a run. They need a little bit of a run. They need some momentum. It's a game of spurts, and no one's really been able to put up a 6-7-0 run. Jesuit has the home crowd here.
2:49 to play, third quarter. The folks from Jesuit are jazzed. It's 36-34.
No penetration. Left foot off balance shot. That's just an excellent move. You just created that. It's not something you practice. Athletes can do that.
Sit for a while. He just picked up number 4, while Isaac Fontaine has 18 for the Jesuit Marauders.
Well, what happens when they go big is they can have an advantage inside, but the problem, like I said, is that now Johnson had to guard Fontaine, and he couldn't do it.
There you see Johnson. He'll have to sit for a while. It's at the 2:49 mark of the third quarter, and Fontaine trying to finish the three-point play. Can't do it. Rebound, Folks. Crenshaw led by 8 just a couple of minutes ago, but a 6-point run here on a timeout. He was in trouble, was Tremaine Folks. Had to use up the timeout. Willie West can't be very happy about that. A team that's won as many state championships as they have wouldn't normally lose their composure, and you can't be giving up your timeouts too early in the ball game.
Basketball is a game of runs, John, and what's happened is Jesuit's got a small one going right here with an emotional basket by Fontaine, and the crowds got into it. And as we mentioned before, they give trophies to what they call the sixth man. The student body's just been, ever since the first year I was there back in 1964, they've just been a dedicated group. They're a major part of every success that they've had.
They are all here in white, and there are hundreds, maybe in the thousands of fans on the near side as well. You are watching the 1993 Boys Division I CIF Reebok Championship, presentation of School Properties USA. John Schrader and Bob Gaylord at the Oakland Coliseum Arena. We've seen Linwood crowned as the Division I champions out of Linwood, California and Southern California. The other state champions this weekend, Emory, behind 31 points and 18 rebounds from Darnell Robinson, defeated Brethren Christian handily 74-47. Sacred Heart Prep undefeated at 37-0 in Division 5 girls. Division 2 boys Artesia, Division 2 girls Brea Olinda, and Division 4 boys Sarah, and Division 4 girls St. Bernard's. Now back to the action here as Fontaine nearly came up with the steal. McFerrin loves that shot outside the yellow line. All the way in, Maurice Robinson explodes, and it's a 4-point Crenshaw lead.
Both teams are vulnerable to that. It's just been a constant throughout. They're getting to McFerrin, so they're not going to let him shoot the three. So all of a sudden, there's the penetration being allowed. Now they've got McFerrin matched up on Fontaine a little bit quicker.
Robinson on King here. King goes all the way in. He can't finish. Josh continues to struggle. Knocked away by Watson. Out of bounds, and Fontaine would not let McFerrin get to it. That's a big-time block on the inside, although Jesuit keeps the ball.
Yeah, Griffin just keeps bringing it at him, though. I mean, he's had a couple shots blocked, but he's doing what you need to do, is bring it at the big guys inside.
We talked early about this Griffin-Robinson matchup. Griffin has 10. It's nearly stolen by Robinson, out of bounds, off Maurice.
Okay, the quick hands have been so noticeable, but Ammerman's been solid as a rock. He hasn't really turned the ball over. Again, he's getting a hand on every rebound, passing the ball well.
Now Ammerman brings it in. Josh King uses his 6'7" frame, and he delivers on the baseline finally.
Yep, great pass by Ammerman. They're dropping in the backcourt.
Second field goal of the game for Josh King. Folks goes up against Ammerman. There's Watson. Can't get the roll, and the foul is called on Fontaine. Went up over the back of Rico Laurie, and now Fontaine joins Johnson in the 4-foul area.
There's so much luck in this game. It was a shot that should have gone down, bounced around 3 or 4 times, which allowed Fontaine to get in deeper. That shot should have gone down. It allows Fontaine. Everyone jumps early, and there's Fontaine. It's not much of a foul.
But just enough, and he'll leave now with 18 points. He's leading Jesuit in scoring with 1:35 to play in the quarter. Ball kicked by Tennette. So Tennette and Kodabashian in the backcourt together, both under 6 foot tall.
It's a funny situation. Sometimes you think now that Crenshaw has all the momentum with Fontaine sitting, but sometimes you don't capitalize on it because you just feel a little complacent.
There's Folks now. He delivers 40-36. Josh King brings the ball up. Kodabashian for 3. And it's knocked around and picked up by Maurice Robinson.
It's 5-on-2. It's open court time.
McFerrin.
Look out.
Got
Look
it.
out.
That's
Look
worth
out.
2.
Yep.
That's worth 2. It's 42-36.
It might be a lot more than 2 if he knocks that shot down. I don't think Fontaine can sit long.
Kodabashian trying to break the press. Gets it over to Mike Tennette. Takes it all the way in against Watson and travels.
He can't get it off. Right now, Crenshaw is like a pack of wolves.
Hank Meyer will have to make a decision here.
I don't think it's going to be a hard one. I think he's got to come back pretty quick.
Robinson against Tenet. Under a minute now to play in the quarter. And a foul call that would have counted had it gone. Kodabashian the foul, and Robinson will go to the free throw line for a pair.
I think he'll just try to get through the quarter, John. He'll just try to get Isaac through the quarter and say, we got 8 left in the season. Let's see what happens. It's just good, quick penetration. The help that comes is not, you're not going to stop that. I was at their practice Thursday again, and Coach Meyer just emphasized, don't try to block the shot. You can't block the shot, but of course instincts take over. What you want to do is try to hold position, draw an offensive charge. With all the athletes penetrating hard to the basket, there's your best opportunity when you're undersized, if you get in somebody's way.
Robinson gets the first one. He's got 7 points now, and it's a 7-point Crenshaw lead.
Point guard and the off guard now for Crenshaw are so much stronger than what Jesuit has on the floor that they can really take advantage.
And make it an 8-point lead with 52.2 seconds to go. Stacy Gentle is in for Robinson, so Robinson will get the rest of this quarter and the 2 minutes in between to rest. Ammerman with Tenet and Griffin and King and Kodabashian for Jesuit.
They changed presses now. They went to a zone press full court. They mixed it up.
Here's Griffin.
They're going for the kill.
Kodabashian's got King breaking to the basket if he could get it. Nice feed, work all the way around. King scores.
Good job by Jesuit. Passed the ball very, very well. Found the open man.
And a steal. Here comes Jesuit. They get to Kodabashian. He's got a chance. King tips it in. It's a 44-40 game.
Great tip by King. Jesuit has responded to the challenge.
This may be the most important minute in the ball game for the kids from Carmichael.
And they've already accomplished what they needed to do. They're going to get out of this quarter intact instead of being down 10.
Baron, what a great feed inside, folks.
Look out.
With the highest percentage shot available in basketball. Chance, better shoot it.
60-footer.
Doesn't get it off. And we've played 3 quarters. It's 46-40. Crenshaw leads Jesuit of Carmichael in the CIF Reebok Boys Division I title game. Cut the lead to 4. Inside, Folks finished, made it 46-40. The leading scores update is brought to you by Unical 76 or Bank of America. Here's your game summary. Crenshaw with 7 blocked shots. Fontaine 4 fouls, 18 points. Johnson 4 fouls and 14 points. Isaac Fontaine checked in during the break, but Kristen Johnson continues to sit on the Crenshaw bench. There's Robinson against Mike Tenet. Trying to find an opening here. Gets it to Watson. The cutter is Folks. He scores.
King just turned his head outside and he was gone. It's a good move without the basketball. Mark of a real good player.
Folks has 13. Got it inside. He steals the ball. The pass was just a split second too late for Ammerman. Cross court. Knocked around. Parker. It's Rico Laurie who shoots it off the hands of Ben Ammerman, and Crenshaw will keep it.
Critical minute coming up. Absolutely critical. Jesuit made a nice run to get to within 4.
Ryan Gould will come in for Jesuit for Ben Ammerman.
They've got to get a stop, and they've got to get something going. Even though there's a lot of time left in the 4th quarter, you can just start to feel the aggressiveness come out. It's a critical shot.
That's Laurie, and it almost hit Ryan Gould in the nose. Folks comes up with it, and the tip by Rico Laurie. He was way up in the air.
Momentum swing, absolute momentum swing. Fontaine's back and hasn't been able to get involved yet offensively or the boards.
So it's 50-40 now. Crenshaw with the big lead inside. Give it back to Griffin. He can't finish off the hands of Jesuit. It was a good feed back to Griffin from Tenet, but he couldn't finish. And now with a 10-point lead, Crenshaw has the ball.
It's trouble. Crenshaw's trapping even at the top of the key.
Robinson goes all the way. It's tipped by Folks. They're great athletes on the inside now. Big offensive rebounds and a 12-point lead. 15 for Folks.
Coach calling for a timeout.
And a timeout with 6:23 to play in the championship game. Crenshaw has a 12-point lead. We're at the Oakland Coliseum Arena. Come on back.
The CIF might understand. Thank you.
situations with Johnson and Fontaine 4, several players on both teams with 3. Right now, what Jesuit's concerned about is getting some points, and Fontaine creates it and delivers.
They just took him out to half court, spread the courts, and go one-on-one. Just create.
Isaac's got 20 now, and it's a 10-point game. 6 minutes to play. Stolen by Tanat. Over to Griffin, back to Fontaine, and it's knocked away by Robinson. Fontaine will get 2 free throws. But that's a victory of sorts for Crenshaw. It was a 3-on-1 break.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they gave it to the right man, because he is definitely going to either finish or get fouled. He put the pressure right on Robinson. He shielded him with the body, took it right to the glass.
Boy, that'll hurt Crenshaw. That's 4 fouls now on Robinson. He's a real leader in the backcourt for the Cougars.
No doubt about it.
He joins Kristen Johnson with 4 fouls.
Might have been better off just giving that basket up.
And Fontaine with 21. So Johnson comes back and Watson leaves. Kristen Johnson sat most of the 3rd quarter and the first 2 minutes of the 4th quarter.
Be interesting to see if Crenshaw gets a little conservative here. It's not really their style. They like to keep going in the open court, and I think they'd be wise to do it. But with the state championship on the line, sometimes you get a little tentative.
Got one of them. It's a 9-point game. Here's Johnson quickly. Makes a difference. It's an 11-point difference.
He's been arrested.
16.
He's strong.
Yeah.
He says, hey, I can score. That's a good catch. Good catch.
Griffin has a chance for a 3-point play as Fontaine gets it to him. Chris has a dozen points, and it's a 54-45 game.
Tough pass. Just a little off the money and a real good catch. It was behind him, and then deliver and finish it inside, maybe go to the line and get 3. It's exactly what they needed.
Johnson can't deny at all. Johnson's got 4 fouls. He goes up there and denies Griffin and commits a foul. He'll sit the rest of the game, so he just had to back off.
You're almost at the point, though, now where, you know, if you're out there, you just got to play it like there's just no tomorrow. Well, there isn't no tomorrow, but also with time running down here, you don't want to give up the basket.
Now it's an 8-point difference. And
here comes the half-court trap.
Half-court
trap. Spread the court a little bit. Looks like a zone trap.
Loses the ball. Tanat hustles after it, knocks it out of bounds, says hello to some of his friends from Carmichael.
Right in the part of the game where Jesuit's going to have to get a little bit extended, even more than they want to be. And it could be a dunking exhibition by Crenshaw, or it could be back in the game by Jesuit.
5:29 to go as the ball is inbounded. Robinson and Johnson playing with 4 fouls for the for the Cougars.
They're looking to trap. Coach is yelling trap. They're getting extended. Going to give up some very easy shots.
Rico Laurie, the rebound. Folks knocked away. Loose ball. Tremaine Folks loses it on the way up. Kristen Johnson, no. And the rebound, Fontaine. Here comes Isaac Fontaine, all by himself. Got it. Open it up. Don't look out. McFerrin with the bucket and the foul.
The emotions just took over, John. They got so excited seeing Fontaine in the steal after about 3 or 4 offensive efforts that they just forgot to get back on defense.
Talk
you know
he's
going to finish.
Both ends here.
Griffin kept coming. Tanat kept coming. It was really Tanat that should have been alert to that one. I mean, he's not going to get an offensive rebound. He's just got to be the safety.
And McFerrin finishes it off. Reggie's got 12 in the game.
That was a dagger in the heart at this point.
57-48 inside the 5-minute mark now. Josh King for 3. Oh! In and out. And McFerrin gets the rebound.
King is really struggling. Just needed that so badly.
Robinson takes it all the way and kisses it off the glass.
It's really a 5-point play in 10 seconds. One that goes in and out for King and a finish at the other end by Robinson.
Robinson's got 10. Fontaine catches his breath, gives it to Tanat in the corner. Ammerman for 3. He can't get it. Knocked around, loose ball, put up and delivered by Chris Griffin. 4 minutes to play. 4 minutes and 10 seconds.
The game has changed. Jesuit has opened it up. They're also looking to go to their 3-point offense. They've taken more threes in the last couple of minutes here than they have the entire game.
And Kristen Johnson with the chance for Crenshaw to sort of milk the clock a little bit and a 9-point lead. Took the shot within 10 seconds of the possession.
That decision is always hard. Break the momentum and spread it.
Fontaine for 3. Again, it's in and out. Griffin is there for the board, and it goes in.
That'll go in. Crenshaw's got to make a decision here. Attack the basket or spread it. They might have had this lead a little too early.
59-52. McFerrin got it and the foul. Ben Ammerman fouls him. McFerrin off the glass. It's a 9-point game with 3:31 to go.
It's a good finish. It's a good decision.
Personal foul 33. Ben Ammerman, 4th personal, 6th team foul.
I look for Jesuit just to spread it down and see if Fontaine can't take over at the perimeter. But they're also going to nothing but threes, and they have not got the three-pointer down.
Timeout with 3:31 to go. McFerrin will be at the free throw line when we return to the Coliseum Arena in a minute. Balanced scoring at the top of the list for Crenshaw. Fontaine and Griffin have combined for 40. But right now, after the McFerrin free throw, Jesuit is 10 points down with 3.5 to play.
They've taken their full court press off, but they're still staying aggressive. Playing it straight up.
On a day when Jesuit needs some three-pointers to go, they're down by 10. They've missed all 12 of their three-point shots so far.
It's been a nightmare.
Chris Griffin cuts all the way in and scores. He's got 19. This is Rico Laurie. Gets it over to McFerrin. McFerrin's trouble for the Jesuits. He's 6'6". Can handle the ball. There's Robinson thrown around. Loose ball. Jesuits got it.
Good trap in the
net. With Chris Griffin on the right wing all the way up. He'll get 2 free throws as Laurie mugs him on the way to the basket. 2:49 to play.
Well, Crenshaw spread it a little bit at the other end, and Jesuit just looking to trap on the sides and in the corners. And they got it.
That's 4
Here's
fouls
the breakaway
on Laurie. No doubt about it. It's easy to make those calls.
Looks like a little fatigue setting in, too. A lot of reaching right now.
Griffin hits the 20-point mark.
See if Jesuit goes full court press, if they go back in the half-court trap. You're under 3 minutes.
Comes up short. The rebound, Folks, and then Johnson comes up with it. 62-55. Kristen Johnson is fouled.
That's it.
By Fontaine.
That's it for Fontaine.
And that'll be number 5. His season ends 2 minutes and 42 seconds before the end of the last game. And the folks from Jesuit thanking him for an outstanding career. The next time he puts on a uniform, it'll be for Kelvin Sampson's Washington State team.
Yeah, he had a lot of offers, John. He wanted to play in the Pac-10. Washington State recruited him, and he opted to go to Washington State. He's going to be a very, very good player for them. He's a lot of character, a lot of heart, along with the athletic ability.
Now Johnson at the other end with free throw opportunities. Hank Meyer will take as much time as is allotted to him to bring in a new player, which will be Kodabashian.
Johnson's relaxed. Johnson's just standing there and said, just give me the ball.
Yeah, he says, hey, I was bouncing around in NBA locker rooms when I was 7, 8 years old. Big arenas. Well, Martin Kodabashian comes in. 2:42 to play. Johnson gets 1 plus the 1. And Crenshaw holding on to a 7-point lead. And the first one's good, and he'll get another one. Johnson has 17 to go with 7 boards. And it'll stay that way. Folks just takes it away, puts it up and scores. Tremaine Folks just took it away from Josh King.
Just not getting a body on people. Just not getting a body on people, and they're paying the price. The big quick jumpers for Crenshaw are taking over. There's a triple team.
Kodabashian with Tenet. Griffin, and a foul is called. Don't give the guys who are behind by 10 an opportunity to score with the clock stopped, which it is now at 2:22. And Rico Laurie fouls out. Laurie leaves the ball game. He's a 6'3" senior. He departs with 4 points.
Well, that's exactly what Jesuit needed. They did need the clock stopped and an opportunity to get into a pressing situation. The problem is, this is a team that thrives in the press. Crenshaw doesn't really mind it. They got quickness. They're going to attack the basket.
So, Kodabashian 5'10" senior, playing his final game for Jesuit. Has 1 plus the 1. Try and keep the Marauders alive, and it goes down.
Good shooter, real good shooter. They just did not allow him to score up from three-point range today. The size factor was tremendous for him. He just couldn't get a good look at the basket.
And he gets them both, makes it an 8-point game. Josh King at 6'7", tries to deny the pass. McFerrin has it, gets it ahead to Robinson. They could get an easy basket here. Johnson, they do so. It's a 10-point game.
Yeah, Tennant needed to jump in his way and try to take the charge.
And thrown away the other way. Van Amerman wasn't ready for it. Crenshaw with the lead will get the ball. 2:07 to play. Jesuit takes a timeout as Crenshaw will have the ball. And Crenshaw, a team that has been in the state championship 4 times over the last 12 years, but none of these kids has been in the state championship. The last one they won was in 1989.
There's a tradition factor, though. The coaching staff certainly knows what's going on, and here's a breakaway situation by Crenshaw. There's where Tennant needed to try to get back and try to get in front and make a decision for the officials. You're not going to block that shot.
And when you're 5'10", and the other guys not only have the height, but they have the numbers, they're coming in on a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2, and
exactly.
Breaking a press. It's a lot of easy baskets.
Exactly. You're getting exposed. It's the type of thing. It's a panic type situation. You don't want to be there. Stranger things have happened. 10 points in 2 minutes.
This certainly would be a strange thing if Jesuit, unless they can suddenly find some kind of three-point range. Their leading scorer, Isaac Fontaine, has fouled out. They have 1 timeout remaining.
Well, their only hope now
are at 7, and Jesuit would get the ball in a possession or held ball situation.
Their only hope now is to see if there's not a lot of one-on-ones missed by Crenshaw. They're going to have to put them in the line right away. They're going to have to test them from 15 feet, nobody guarding them. Before they get there, they got to make sure they don't throw it long and go for lay-in.
Folks into Robinson, and it's taken away. The possession arrow, held ball, goes to Jesuit. So it's exactly what they wanted to do. Kodabashian ties him up, and underneath the basket, the Marauders will have the ball with 2:05 to play.
They need a 3 from King, and they need something real desperately here. There he goes.
Outside, Kodabashian, and it's thrown away for Griffin and Ammerman, and it's thrown away. A turnover against Jesuit. And again, they tie up Robinson. It's knocked away. Johnson, great lead pass to McFerrin. He scores, 12-point difference, under 2 minutes to go.
They're extended in their full court press now. They're back to it.
And the last timeout used up by Jesuit with 1:44 to go. Hank Meyer jumps up, tries to exhort his guys. But it doesn't look good.
No, you can't be.
59-57 is the score.
Can't be in any tougher situation right now. You've got your best player out in fouls, and you've got a very athletic team that's continuing to extend in the backcourt. And you haven't knocked down any threes, so there's not much to go to. You haven't even had an opportunity to put them on the line yet.
This Crenshaw team has just a couple of seniors. Maurice Robinson, the only senior who plays a lot. Stacy Gentle and Calvin Valerie, who hasn't appeared in this game, and Jermaine Lynn, who appeared very briefly, are all seniors. But the core, Tremaine Folks, Reggie McFerrin, Leon Watson, Kristen Johnson, all returned. So you got an idea of who the preseason #1 might be next year?
That's frightening. And of course, Jesuit loses almost all of their guys. So that's it's peaks and valleys. Looks like Crenshaw seems to have a lot of peaks, however, not many valleys.
So the frustration for the Sacramento area teams continues. They are without a state champion unless they can overcome this 12-point difference in 1:44 since the renewal of the North versus South state championship in 1981. They did win a Northern California championship with Elk Grove, Bill Cartwright, in 1975, but there was no state championship being contested at that time.
Right. Would have been interesting to see them go against the Southern teams.
That was an awfully good team, as you know.
Absolutely.
There's Griffin, who has been a big scorer today, and Chris Griffin delivers.
Killer of strength.
10-point game, trying to tie him up. Griffin has 22, a foul called on Kodabashian, and is frustrated as Robinson will go to the line for 1-1. And that's all they can do. You try and take the ball away, and if the foul is committed, then you just have to hope you get a break at the other end.
Right, and it's hard in a losing cause to talk about values, but the values that are always going to be taught, John, are that you learn to be a competitor, and you learn to never give up, and all those things that transfer over to life. And right now, it's just a pride factor for Jesuit. Looks like it's an insurmountable lead, but they're going to just keep playing to the buzzer.
1-1-1.
So even though we've long been past the 10 foul mark, it is not the rule in high school. You still get 1 plus the 1.
1-1.
And that's 11 points now for Robinson. 1:28 to play. The difference is 11.
They're not putting anybody in the foul line now. They're just backing off.
Kind of feel a little bit sorry for Josh King. He's going Division I basketball. He had a real bad shooting day here today in the state championship game.
Yeah, he did. He went to the boards real strong despite that early, and then the game just didn't come his way very easily. And again, that's Crenshaw. They got up on him real tight, forced him to put the ball on the ground. Double teamed him there. There he goes, puts the ball on the ground.
King puts it up, and before he goes to the free throw line, let's pause 5 seconds for station identification on the CIF Reebok Television Network.
Personal foul number 21, Robert Parker, fourth personal.
John Schrader with Bob Gaylord, and Crenshaw very close to wrapping up its 5th state championship. Josh King at the line trying to cut into an 11-point lead. That makes it 10. And now King, who came in here averaging 18 a game, has 9, make it 10.
And he's had to work for all 10.
And Folks gets it in with about 4.5 seconds gone, and a jump ball. Crenshaw will keep it on a held ball. 1:14 to go. The Marauders aren't about to give up, that's for sure.
Nope.
Through 36 games this year, they've won 35 of them. The baseball, football pass knocked away by Ammerman. Saved a couple there. Maurice Robinson, it's stolen, and a foul call. Foul called on Ammerman, but it looked like Griffin is the one who stole it, and Ammerman fouls out.
Yeah, they're going for steal on every possession, and they've got the foul if they don't get the steal. So it's one of those things also where the officials now are going to really start to anticipate some of those calls. Although I think he got a piece of his arm.
And Ammerman fouls out with 3 points and 6 rebounds. Good effort here today. Ryan Gould comes in for him.
Ben
Ammerman is a junior.
Tough young man. He'll be back. He'll be back. You can't say you had a disappointing year if you end this way. You know that you always want to get the golden one, but they finish up with 2 losses. Something to keep in the memory bank.
And the free throw is missed. I believe Jesuit has used up all of its timeouts.
They're down to 3 points and fouls. Shoot the 3, knock it down, and foul somebody.
Tanette looking for somebody. Gave up early. Get it to Griffin. Clock is running down now to 55. Got to get it to somebody, and Kodabashian is the man. He can't score. Gould, the tip, knocked around.
Griffin's hurt.
And Griffin is hurt, lying down on the floor. Officials timeout with 48 seconds to play.
It's like a sprained ankle.
Jesuit will have the ball when play resumes. Certainly is favoring his right leg or his right ankle.
Looked like he grabbed his ankle.
It looked like it. He hasn't moved his ankle. Chris Griffin, a 6'2 junior.
Well, he's certainly been 100% the entire game, going to both boards. They needed a big scoring punch from him, and he gave it.
He's got 22 points. Certainly everything and more they could ask of Griffin in this state championship game. Still to come here tonight, the Division III Girls Championship and the Division III Boys Championships to be decided. In that late game, Palo Alto is 30-0 against a good Morningside team out of Inglewood, a team that has always been very representative. And when you get down there in that Division III, having played a lot of Division I teams, you find out just how good they are playing at a different level.
Exactly. Yeah. I suspected Griffin could play if they needed him. Looks like he tweaked the ankle pretty good, though.
We talked about rebounds, 6'2", 8 rebounds today to go to 22 points.
Pillar of strength. He was very, very strong at both ends.
And now into the
He's
ball
trying
game.
to go back in. He's trying to go back in.
Mark Fierro into the ball game, and Griffin will get in if there's a dead ball.
It took him a long time to even to get the scorer's table. He's limping so bad.
Here's King, puts it up. He's fouled. Was he outside the line? We'll see. He gets 2 free throws. Josh King gets 2 free throws at 45 seconds. He does get 3? Nope, he only gets 2.
Looked like he might have been on the
3,
line.
yeah.
Wanted 3 badly. But it's typical of what Crenshaw's done is they really haven't given you many good looks at the 3-point stripe. Now, you could penetrate and go to the basket, which they did. They were very successful doing that, but their 3-point game was completely eliminated. From the onset, we knew that King had to provide a lot of that.
And King's first free throw makes it an 8-point game.
Key possession right here. Need a steal.
So make it a 7-point game, 70-63. Robinson, and a foul called on King.
There's a good foul. They were scoring if they didn't foul him there.
42.8 seconds to play. So 1 plus the 1 is the important factor here.
Well, that's a big change from college basketball naturally when you'd be shooting 2 free throws now. So you still have to earn them a lot more at the high school ranks. And 1-on-1's a lot more difficult than shooting 2.
Into the ball game comes Stacy Gentle, and leaving is Antonio Simpson, who didn't spend a whole lot of time in the game. Now Robinson for 1 plus the 1. They sure brought some guys up to the free throw line this time, didn't they?
Yes, they did. They're getting their free throw shooters out there, kind of platooning a little bit. They've got a defensive team and a free throw shooting team.
12 points now for Robinson. 8-point game, no. And the rebound by Johnson, tied up. And Jesuit gets the ball, or who's got the arrow going where?
It's happened so many times, they're confused.
Jesuit's ball, I thought it was.
Right.
From memory. It hasn't gone after all.
They need the quickest 3 they've ever had.
Well,
and the clock to stop.
Here's Tanette. Looks around. He's got a man open in the corner.
There it is.
King for 3. He's now 5 for 15, 4 for 15 from the field. Put it out. That time he was outside the 3. And Josh King will be at the line for 3 in an 8-point game with 27 seconds remaining.
Not the foul you wanted, but when the game plans to take away the 3, you can't turn off the emotions in young men like a water faucet. They're just trying to make sure that he doesn't get a good look at it. It was a foul, clean foul.
So while you'd like to put this game in Crenshaw's bank like a crisp $20 bill, they just have that little bit of uncertainty here with 27 seconds to go. And King misses.
They're not celebrating. They're not celebrating quite yet. King backed out of there too soon. You got to stand in there and shoot that free throw. Good shooters get a little bit sometimes complacent that it's going to go down automatically.
And that makes it a 71-64 game.
And he's got to make this one so they can put the press on.
13 points for King.
Can't believe Griffin's back in.
Missed it short. He knew it. He went after it. Chased down. Kotabashian's got it.
Yep.
Gets it over to Griffin. He puts it up for 3, and he gets fouled. Can you believe it?
It's a good call.
Kristen Johnson bailed him out by fouling him when he was in no position to shoot that shot. He fouls out, and now in a 7-point game with 19.2 to go, Jesuit's back on the line.
Well, you know, it's the last thing they wanted to have happen was to stop the clock and put him in line for the 3. It's one of those things where the aggressiveness is just a factor. It's been a factor the entire game, but you just got to know when to say that let's just get it down and score at the other end or get the ball in bounds. But the key thing was the offensive rebound and the missed free throw. And you've got a great shooter shooting 3 free throws. He misses 2 of them, and now they're back for another 3.
So now Chris Griffin, who I suppose along with Isaac Fontaine might be called the star of the game here for this Jesuit team, certainly offensively.
How strong is he? I mean, he's hurt. I mean, I know he's hurt. He's limping real bad.
And he can't get that one.
He can't quite get his legs into it. You know, it's...
So now 2 opportunities gone awry here. Second of 3 free throws is good. Now it's 71-65.
He's holding his shorts.
23 points. He wants to hold his ankle.
Yes, he does.
Griffin's got 24, and we have a 5-point game.
Key inbounds pass right here.
And it's knocked off the backboard. That's a turnover.
Exactly.
Jesuit gets the ball back, and now we go from hope and miracle to possibilities.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Inbounds. King gave up the 3, put it up, off balance, and Folks has the rebound. An easy shot here if he could have found McFerrin streaking down the court. But with 13.6 to go at the free throw line goes Crenshaw.
Well, it's typical in that they just wouldn't give him the first look at the 3, and they forced him to take a real off-balance 3, knowing that he had to shoot it. It's just a consistently solid defensive effort by Crenshaw in doing that.
So Folks goes to the line with 17 points. 1 plus the 1. It's short.
There's the curveball.
Short, and here's Griffin.
There's the curveball.
5-point game. Chris Griffin with a bad ankle and all shoots.
Backboard.
It went off the rim. Foul. McFerrin. 5.7 to go. And the last gasp went off the glass and the iron, I believe, for Jesuit.
Certainly seems that way. Well, they stayed in it longer than you could imagine after Fontaine fouled out.
I guess you would say probably painfully too long for Crenshaw. It seemed minutes ago they had this thing all wrapped up.
I'm sure they wanted to spread the court, go to the foul line, knock them down, maybe get a dunk or two and really celebrate in style, but Jesuit just wouldn't allow that to happen. There's an awful lot of pride. Both these teams came in here as big-time winners, and they leave as big-time winners.
Barron's free throw rolls down and in. 72-66. That ought to just about do it. He's got 18 points.
I don't think they have a 7-point player in their bag.
And very confidently drills the second one. Chris Griffin takes the last shot of the ball game, and it falls awry. And Crenshaw is your 1993 CIF Reebok Division I Boys State Champion. We'll be back to the Oakland Coliseum to talk about this championship game in just a bit. One Boys State Championship, 73-66 is the final over Jesuit of Carmichael. So Jesuit finishes 35-2, and Crenshaw finishes 28-2, and they're 5 for 5 in state championship games. Sometimes, Bob, they didn't display the cool and the calm of a state champion. Other times they did. Folks drills a couple at the end, and they just survived a real good comeback try, at least by Jesuit.
Absolutely. They did what they had to do. I think they covered up some of the main offensive areas in Jesuit's repertoire that they had to get to, and King is noticeable, and of course Kotobashi and some of the other perimeter players. They made sure they never got a good look at the basket. They gave up a few things, but it was a solid game plan, and they deserved it. They're juniors, but they showed some maturity when they needed it.
Yeah, some outstanding talent, some outstanding play on the front line, from Kristen Johnson to Tremaine Folks and Reggie McFerrin scored. Those were the big 3 scores. They just have so many things they can do, and they all hit the boards, and just very difficult for this Jesuit team.
Ultimately, they had more weapons. We knew that on paper, but Jesuit had such a great year, and they survived against some very difficult teams, and some very athletic teams. Kennedy, for example, of Sacramento. But the weapons really came to the front today. They kept running people in and out of there, and Jesuit just could not sustain it. And it's all due to Crenshaw.
The folks from Jesuit are picking up their awards as the runners-up in the state championship. Crenshaw will get the trophy in just a bit. We'll continue from the Oakland Coliseum Arena.
Guard for Michigan.